Snapper here. Today it's gonna be a fight between the iPhone 7 Plus camera and the DSLR. We're gonna see how good the iPhone 7 really is. We're gonna put these two head to head against each other into 5 different tests. One being the portrait test, a landscape test, a burst test, a low light test, and a video test. Let's see how they compare. To demonstrate this, we have a professional photographer with two cameras, one with a prime lens and one with a zoom lens for quick versatile shooting. We also have an everyday photographer who wants a compact camera and is often satisfied with the one in his phone, just to take the right shot every time. The camera we're going to be using here to make the comparison fair is a 7-year-old Nikon D7000. It has a 16 megapixel sensor, which is comparable to the 12 megapixel sensor on the iPhone 7 Plus. This is also in the same price range as the iPhone 7 Plus. The 7 Plus needs no introduction here. It is the biggest and the best iPhone till date. First, we're going to start off with the landscape test. Here we're going to be shooting some sceneries in a sunny day. So this is the shot taken with the iPhone 7 Plus. This looks really good. Everything in the frame is on focus. And the phone has done a good job in giving the right exposure and giving a realistic look to the shot. So the picture from the DSLR has a shallower depth of field. This makes the picture look more appealing because you're able to make out the difference between the background and the foreground, where one is focused more over the other. When you're able to vary this focusing and shallow depth of field, you can take really creative shots with the DSLR, but which you cannot do with an iPhone because it keeps everything in focus and everything is going to look the same from the foreground to the background. Next, we're going to do the portrait test. This is going to be really interesting because the iPhone 7 Plus has a dedicated portrait mode. So let's see how good it really is compared to a DSLR. I'm really surprised with this result. And I should say I was really awestruck the first time I saw a picture taken in portrait mode on the iPhone 7 Plus because it does an excellent job of bringing that smooth bokeh to the image, which ideally you can achieve only through good optics and a DSLR. But when you really compare these two images, it's just nitpicking because the iPhone 7 Plus picture is really good, but it cannot compare as much as with the DSLR, as the clarity of the image on the shadows and highlights is spot on the DSLR. Now we are going to try out some fast continuous shooting with the burst mode on both the DSLR and the iPhone 7 Plus. So we are going to shoot some bike stunts and try to capture the action. So this was a fun test to shoot. So we had the model do some wheelies with the bike and I was trying to shoot it with the phone and the camera. So the main difference I would say here is the iPhone 7 Plus takes more shot within a second than the DSLR. But if you compare the shots, I would say the DSLR's pictures are tack sharp and also each and every one is in perfect focus. Whereas the iPhone takes multiple shots, but since it doesn't have a depth of field control or anything, the shot looks a little plain for my liking. But if you're a professional photographer, you're definitely not going to use an iPhone for a burst shot. The burst shot on an iPhone is going to be really useful when you want to take multiple shots of some action. Select 1 or 2 frames out of it which you like. But the DSLR does a really good job of nailing the focus if you know what you're doing. Next, we're going to do the low light test. So we're going to be shooting indoors in an everyday situation, like inside your apartment with very less light. Of all the tests we have put these two into, I would say the low light test is the one where the iPhone fails miserably compared to the DSLR, because as you see in the image, there is too much noise and the picture doesn't look appealing at all. Like, it has focused on the logo and it does look like a neat shot, but the quality of the image is not at all good. And now when you see the picture from the DSLR, you see what I'm talking about. It has a very shallow depth of field, the logo is on perfect focus, and the quality of the image is really good. You're not able to see any noise, and the bokeh is really creamy as well. So finally, we're gonna try out some video and compare the quality on both of the cameras. So first I'm gonna play 2 clips from the iPhone 7 Plus and next 2 clips from the DSLR. So just as a bonus, we cannot compare 2 cameras without trying out the selfies in this day and age. So as you would have already guessed, it's far easier to take a selfie with your phone than a camera, mainly because you have the front-facing display, whereas in the camera you might or might not have it. Also, holding a big camera and taking a selfie is really hard, and you're gonna be looking really jarky doing that. So just don't. Also, one big advantage with the DSLR is the interchangeable lenses and the zooming capabilities, which is unmatched by any phone camera. So finally, we can conclude the iPhone 7 Plus has a really good camera, but it can't really stand against a professional DSLR. You have so much versatility and so many ways to control the exposure and focus and other aspects of photograph that you cannot do on a phone. The iPhone can be used as an everyday photo or video camera and also an excellent selfie camera. But if you want to do some specific types of photography, you should definitely get a DSLR and get the right equipment to go with it to get the best results possible. So that's about it. Hope this video was useful to compare an iPhone with a DSLR, and by now you should have a clear idea of what you really want as your camera. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. Also leave a comment and subscribe for the channel. If you want to know more about me, follow me in all the social media links in the description below. Later.